Hey everyone, welcome back to Thunder Today, Two-Wheeled Tuesday. I'm Mia, and if you're listening while wrenching on your bike, commuting, or pretending you're working, I respect it.
I'm Jax, and today is one of those grab-a-drink episodes because we've got, three different flavors of motorcycle chaos. Drag bikes, Supercross roster drama, and Laguna Seca turning into a full-on points hurricane.
Exactly. We're going to hit the NHRA Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout heading to Sonoma, then the World Supercross replacement news with Rick Ware Racing, and then we'll wrap with what went down at Laguna Seca across Superbike, Supersport, Baggers, basically the whole loud weekend.
And we'll keep it simple. No gatekeeping. If you don't know the difference between Pro Stock Motorcycle and Supercross, you're still in the right place.
All right, let's start with Sonoma, because NHRA's Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout is kind of a perfect little one-day pressure cooker.
Yeah, it's not the standard weekend grind where you're thinking about points and Sunday eliminations and all that. The Callout is its own thing on Saturday. 8 riders, head-to-head, and somebody walks away with real money.
25 grand for basically saying, okay, I want you.
Which is the fun part. The Callout format is it's racing, but it's also strategy and a little bit of petty energy.
A little bit. It's totally petty in the best way. So here's how it's set. 8 of the top Pro Stock motorcycle names are heading to Sonoma Raceway for the Getrix Pro Stock Motorcycle All-Star Callout on Saturday, July 18th, as part of the Sonoma Nationals weekend.
And the seeding matters because the top seed gets first pick. This time that's Gaige Herrera, 2-time world champ, getting to choose his first-round opponent.
Behind him in the order, you've got Richard Gadsden, then Matt Smith, Angie Smith, John Hall, Gianna Evaristo, Chase Van Sant, and Steve Johnson.
So, question. If you're Herrera, do you pick the easiest matchup on paper, or do you try to take out somebody scary before they heat up?
See, this is why it's great. Because easy barely exists at this level. But I'll say this. Gadsden is coming in with that fresh win confidence.
Norwalk, right? He was the most recent tour winner, and he's rolling into Sonoma with, I don't know, man. He's got that vibe of somebody who's been replaying one moment in his head for a year.
Because he has. Last year's call-out final, he loses by going red, and not even red. Like basically a blink. A thousandth. -.001.
That is the most brutal way to lose. There's losing, and then there's I twitched and it cost me the bag.
And the guy who benefited was Matt Smith. 6-time champ, and also the defending call-out winner. And this year, he's trying to make it 3 straight call-out wins.
With the little asterisk that he's coming back after surgery. Right? He sat out a couple events.
Yeah, and that opens up this interesting question. Do you believe in race sharpness as a real edge? Is time away a problem, or does it reset you and you come back dangerous?
I mean, both? Because if you're Matt Smith, your baseline is already terrifying. But in a call-out event, you don't get much time to settle in.
Right? Friday is basically the warm-up and testing day. Then Saturday is go time. And here's the schedule if you're watching. First round starts 11:15 a.m. Pacific, semis at 1:30, finals at 3:30.
And if you're more of a couch and snacks fan, TV coverage kicks off later that night on FS1, 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Now, Gadsden specifically, I love his angle because he's not doing the we're the fastest, we're going to crush everybody thing.
He's basically saying, look, we might not be the absolute quickest bike every run, but if I'm locked in, you've got to beat me.
Yeah, I'm tough on a tree. I'm consistent. You want to win, you're going to have to earn it. And also, he's straight up carrying that memory of the -.001 red. That's motivation and trauma, together.
And remember, even though the Callout is Saturday, the overall Sonoma Nationals weekend is bigger than just bike class fireworks. Sunday is the big eliminations day for the heavy hitters. Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock.
It's also the 75th anniversary season for NHRA. So there's some extra celebration energy. They're doing a home track honor moment for Gary Seltzy.
Which, if you're new to NHRA history, that's a legit legend. World titles in both Top Fuel and Funny Car. That's rare, historically rare.
Also, Brittany Force ended up on that special commemorative ticket because of that wild 343-mile an hour run from last season.
343. Just casually, 343. That speed still doesn't feel real.
And they've got the Nitro Mall refreshed, displays, all the fan stuff. plus Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series action, and that topped the Cops exhibition, which is always a crowd magnet.
Okay, quick lightning round. Who are you watching the most on the four-wheel side at Sonoma?
Top Fuel. I cannot look at Doug Kalita at Sonoma because, historically, he owns that place. 6 wins there.
And this season, Sean Langdon's been on a tear and leading points, so it's like track history versus current heat.
Exactly. And you've still got names like Antron Brown, Leah Pruitt, Tony Stewart with that Winter Nationals win, Josh Hart, and then Matty Gordon popping as a rookie standout. That's a stacked watch list.
Funny Car is spicy too. Austin Prock finally grabbed his first Sonoma win last season, and now Ron Capps is sitting there leading points with multiple wins this year. That's like, I'm not just here, I'm running this.
And Pro Stock had that family final last year with Greg Stanfield versus his son Aaron. Greg wins it, but in 2026, Aaron already has 2 wins, and Dallas Glenn is leading points. Greg Anderson is right there too. KB Titan stuff is always clinical.
And if you're trying to actually show up in person, all the ticket stuff is through Sonoma Raceway's site, phone line, the usual. We're not selling you anything. But like, if you go, you go.
All right, shifting gears. Literally. Let's talk World Supercross because Rick Ware Racing had to make a big change.
Yeah, Coty Schock is out with a wrist injury from a training crash in early June. That's rough because Supercross is already brutal, and wrist stuff it's everything.
So RWR brings in Max Anstie to replace him in SX2, the 250 class.
Which is not a let's just fill the seat move. That's a statement. Anstie is the reigning SX2 champion, and also a 2-time champ. Won in 2023, got the title back last season.
It's kind of hilarious to call that a replacement, like it's a downgrade. It's like, oh no, we lost a rider. Anyway, here's the champion.
But you do feel for Schock. Team owner Rick Ware basically said the right thing. Support the rider, focus on recovery. Injuries are part of the game even though nobody wants them.
And then he also made it clear they've respected Anstie for a long time, and they're excited to see what he does in their program. Standard team speak, sure, but it's also true. Anstie's proven.
Plus, Anstie's got that long career arc. Pro since 2009, family legacy, his dad raced at a high level in motocross. That matters sometimes. Those riders come in with a different kind of foundation.
So the RWR World Supercross lineup now looks like this. Anstie and Devin Simonson in SX2, then Cooper Webb and Justin Hill in SX1.
Cooper Webb showing up is a big deal. 3 AMA 450 Supercross titles, tons of wins. And this is his first World Supercross season. That's going to draw eyeballs.
And the WSX season starts August 8th in Calgary at McMahon Stadium. 6 rounds total, bouncing around the world, and it goes into mid-December.
Which feeds into the other RWR story, how they're basically everywhere all the time.
Yeah, they're not just a one-series team. They're tied into NASCAR, NHRA, American Flat Track, World Supercross, short track stuff, even sim racing. Like a ton. The sun never sets on Rick Ware Racing, apparently.
It's kind of a business model episode in itself. Ware's whole pitch is that partners don't get one lane. They get year-round, multi-audience exposure.
And then, because that isn't chaotic enough, they bring in Ricky Rackman as an ambassador storyteller type. Old MTV host, did rock radio forever. Now touring with this one-man show where he mixes music stories with racing personalities.
Honestly, that makes sense. If your team is spread across 7 different kinds of racing, you need somebody who can translate it into stories normal humans want to hear.
Totally. Okay, let's jump to Laguna Seca because this is where things got messy in the fun way.
We're talking Moto America weekend vibes here. Starting with Superbike, JD Beach goes out and basically does the same thing twice.
Yep. Sunday, Quad Lock Superbike Race 2. Beach starts second, grabs the lead basically immediately, and leads all 20 laps. Clean, controlling. Wins by a few seconds, about 3.5 over the next guy.
And the next guy was Cameron Peterson. He had pole, but early on he gets shuffled, then works his way back to second by passing PJ Jacobson.
And third place goes to Sean Dylan Kelly, SDK, who gets around Jacobson late and bags another third-place finish for the weekend.
Now the part that changes everything. Mathew Scholtz, points leader coming into Sunday with a tiny margin, and then he DNFs.
That's a gut punch. He rode up from 10th to 7th and then had to pull off. Halfway point of the season, and suddenly the standings flip.
STK ends up leading the championship. Now, Beach is right behind and Scholtz drops to third. That's not just one race, that's like momentum, pressure. Everything changes after that.
And Bobby Fong rounds out the top 5 in that Superbike race, with Baz, Benjamin Smith, and the rest of the top 10 following. Also in the Superbike Cup class, Dion Campbell sweeps the weekend. That's a strong flex, winning your class and still landing 11th overall.
Okay, Supersport. This one had drama early, like immediately. Darren Binder and Josh Herrin just treating the opening laps like it's personal.
2 Ducati Panigale V2S swapping the lead, throwing big moves. They start pulling away from the group behind. Kayla Yakov, Josh Hayes, Tyler Scott, and then the rest.
And then it starts unraveling. Scott has to pit with a mechanical issue. Yakov goes down at the Andretti hairpin, and that's a scary one because she gets her hand caught for a moment.
Yeah, and that changes the whole chase pack. Herrin finally takes the lead with a clean pass. Binder tries to answer back, runs wide into the gravel, and then later crashes again, but remounts to salvage points.
Which is wild because you don't usually think about salvaging in a race that looked like a win-or-bust duel. But that's championship brain right there.
Herrin cruises to a huge win, like 8 seconds. Josh Hayes ends up second, and Alessandro Di Mario gets his first career Supersport podium in third.
And points-wise, Binder still holds the lead, but Herrin cuts into it. Even with the crash, Binder limiting the damage is honestly impressive.
Now we have to talk baggers because baggers are never normal.
Never. So there was an oil cleanup situation that pushed the bagger challenge into Sunday morning after warm-ups. Short sprint, big money, 6 bikes, and Harley teammates Kyle Wyman and Bradley Smith go 1-2.
Wyman wins it by basically nothing, 3/10. Then later in race 2, Wyman and Smith again go out front, and Troy Herfoss is holding third for a while.
Meanwhile, championship leader Hayden Gillum, low sides and is out. And that matters because now that points cushion gets a lot less comfortable.
Wyman gets his first baggers feature win of the season. Smith is second, Herfoss holds third. And the standings tighten up, Gillum still leads, but Herfoss and Smith are right there.
Next round for baggers is Mid-Ohio, end of July into early August. Which, Mid-Ohio always feels like it creates its own weird outcomes.
Okay, we got 2 more quick hits from the Laguna orbit. One is that smaller class race where Kensei Matsudaira basically had a whole engine situation before race 2 and still goes out and wins at his home track.
That story is so good. Imagine doing 2 warm-up laps, realizing the motor's not happy, swapping the whole thing out with your crew, and then lining up like, yeah, we're fine.
And then actually backing it up with a win, taking points lead again. That's like racing as a mechanical sprint plus a riding sprint.
And the other quick hit is in that MT-style class where Andy DeBrino wins a super tight one like a 10th over his teammate Bryce Cornbow, with Corey Alexander in third.
Yeah, and it's funny because that race reads like a clean flag-to-flag story. But you know Cornbow is throwing looks trying to get inside, trying to make it stick, and it just doesn't quite happen.
And that result matters in points too. DeBrino jumps ahead, Cornbow moves up. Mid-Ohio is going to be busy across multiple series.
So if we tie the whole episode together, it's kind of the same theme in 3 places. Pressure. Sonoma has the call-out pressure. Choose your opponent, win the day. World Supercross has roster pressure. Injury forces a swap, and they bring in a champion. Laguna has championship pressure. 1 DNF, and the whole year feels different.
And also, it's summer racing. Stuff happens fast. You look away for one weekend and suddenly someone new is leading points, somebody's sidelined, and somebody else is on a win streak.
Before we get out of here, I've got one last Sonoma question for you. Herrera gets first pick. What's the smartest move for him? Make it personal or make it practical?
Practical. Always. Because the Callout is one day, and you want the cleanest path to the final. But, I'm not gonna lie, if there's somebody you don't want gaining confidence, you try to handle it early.
So you're saying practical, but with a little spice.
Exactly. Like, practical with receipts.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Thunder Today, Two-Wheel Tuesday. If you're watching this weekend, keep an eye on that all-star call-out bracket, and then Sunday is full NHRA eliminations coverage on FS1.
And if you're tracking World Supercross, Calgary on August 8th is the kickoff. New lineup, big expectations, and a pretty wild year-round schedule for that RWR crew.
And Laguna Seca. If you missed it, go catch highlights because the point stories alone are worth it. JD Beach doing the perfect weekend thing. Supersport chaos. Baggers tightening up.
Send this to your riding group chat, your race buddy, or that one friend who says they don't get racing, but somehow watches every highlight. We see you.
We'll be back next Two-Wheeled Tuesday with more noise, more news, and probably more arguing about who had the smarter strategy.
Until then, stay safe, keep it shiny side up, and if you're staging at the line, maybe don't go. 001 red.
We'll see you next time.